I'm triggered by the Sly for Vaughn comments. They be saying Sly for Vaughn, I think they trolling me.
For some reason, I just don't see the comments no more.
Cameras captured the aftermath.
No! This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
We want to begin now with some breaking news. Rapper Lil Durk is...
The Lil Durk case has a new one. This one specifically involves spying on Durk for paying to have Quando Rondo dealt with, including revealing the time Durk sent men to assault Quando at a gas station. It says feds believe Durk was also behind the attempt of Quando Rondo in 2021. The evidence files state that they have surveillance footage and witness testimony related to the attempt of Quando in Georgia, but it also says, they're on my page like Slide for Vaughn, while Durk is rapping in a song. I know they're making fun of me. For some reason, I just don't see them comments no more, he said in his DJ Academics podcast.
I'm triggered by the Slide for Vaughn comments. I don't know if people still say it. They used to say it, but you also mention a song. They be like, they be saying Slide for Vaughn, I think they trolling me. Yo, by the way, them songs is fire, I ain't gonna lie.
For some reason, I just don't see the comments no more. For some odd reason. I don't know. Might be the water.
The song's release date is being used to align it with the gas station hit on Quando, rather than the lyrics being used against Durk. Additionally, they are attempting to persuade Duty Low to turn against Durk. Duty Low is already attempting to distance himself from the matter, though
And that's what Diddy did. He's basically saying all this evidence y'all got against Durk got nothing to do with me. Why you got me charged with Durk? And that doesn't mean he's going against Durk. That just means he wants his case severed. And I'm telling you, if it's severed, it helps Durk. Because one of the main connective tissue to this conspiracy is saying that Durk told Diddy to hire. Diddy's saying, I ain't get told to hire nobody. And I ain't hiring nobody. What are you talking about? Why would I hire someone? That's his thing.
It was evident who the snitch is, thanks to a fresh piece of evidence that began with a text conversation. According to the article, Durk is accused by federal prosecutors of hitting O-Block members for failing to take revenge on King Von. A witness who says Durk gave the commands will testify on behalf of the prosecution. Durk and O-Block member Muop argue as the files go on, because Durk thinks that members weren't taking revenge for King Von's death. In response, WAC 100 would reveal that the snitches were actually working against Durk.
Life by basically saying he's guilty of for hire, and the only thing that, like, yes, some of these things look suspect. Why'd you go there? Why are these people going there? Why'd you send this message? But nothing. There's no message that they got that says where Durk says y'all that Quando yet. Nothing says that.
You missing the point. Okay. They got a witness already cooperating on that. Been had one. We just ain't seen what they said. It's 3 years. One of the cooperating.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so that's cool. Yeah, that's co-conspirator too.
I don't know. You don't need too much more than that. One of is cooperating. Then in the paperwork, you got the conversation. They say they had it in and out. The other 2 was figuring out how they getting paid.
But Durk's attorneys attempted to request Durk's release. According to reports, Durk's father has stated that he would be released on bond. This is his 3rd effort, and his attorneys made a deal so good the judge couldn't turn it down.
Just left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son for the release for the 3rd time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't pro-prosecutor, he wasn't pro-defense, but he was pro-justice. So he listened to all the evidence, and he's going to give a ruling in the next few days about what his position is for the bond. But we were very pleased at how it turned out. So continue, family, friends, and fans, continue to keep us in your prayers, and we thank you. And inshallah, God willing, this be victorious for us, that we have a good ruling in our favor.
The prosecutors dropped the evidence from the case after Durk's attorneys argued about the lyric evidence they were using against him, which improved Durk's chances of being granted bond. The prosecutors told the judge at Durk's court appearance that they were voluntarily discarding evidence against him while reading it out in front of everyone, according to the news. As a result, lyrics like "Told Me an Op Look" on the news were eliminated from the file. Observe your son yelling no.
Now the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath. No!
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
Durk's attorney revealed that the accusations against him are absurd in an exclusive conversation with DJ
The case is as follows. So there was an indictment that did not name him, right? It named others, and then there was an unindicted person. And then 3 weeks later, that indictment was what's called the first superseding indictment, and it does name him. The indictment was identical, except the unnamed person now became Durk Banks. And this is the really important part, Ack. The second indictment, what's called the first superseding indictment, only had one new fact. It had one new fact, and that was it alleged that there was a video by Durk that celebrated and monetized this.
This occurred prior to the judge's decision-making process. Something worrisome occurred. Vonnie was persuaded to turn informant by the federal authorities. His file was changed to reflect that he is no longer under the custody of the Bureau of Prisons, indicating that he has been freed from custody and is probably under home arrest. Vonnie grabbed a cell phone and texted a loved one to discuss the plea agreement, but they turned on Vonnie and exposed him as a spy. "I'm trying to plea out to a 32, which is the base for M for hire," Vonnie wrote in a text. "The maximum is 43, or life. If I entered a plea, I would lose 2 points. If I entered a plea early, I would lose 1 point, and if I had no background, I would lose 2 points. I will therefore have 27 points, or 5 to 7 years. Like the other males, I don't want them to do me." When Vonnie talks about what happened to the other guys, he is alluding to OTF Jam, but more on that later. At this point, an odd thing occurred. As Vonnie's father discussed how his son contributed to King Von's demise and asserts that Durk was aware of it, Vonnie's father started spying on him and divulging his secrets.
I'm gonna give you this. It's a back door, and I got all the pieces. That's all I'm gonna tell you. As Durk asked Vonnie, "Is it open?" Vonnie told him it's off the hinges.
Wait. Are you talking about the Von? Like King Von?
Listen very carefully. When the payment was made to Little Tim, the next day or the same day, Durk asked Vonnie, "Was it open?" This is what he asked him. Was it open? This was the exact words. Was it open? He told him it's off the hinges.
Are you saying that Vonnie backdoor King Von? No way. That was right here.
You heard what I just said. Guess what? You need motive first, right? I got bankers. I got bankers that'll testify that or will make a contract or make a statement to you and let you know that this is the amount of money he had, this is what he had, this is that, another. You need motive first and foremost. I got text messages from the lawyer letting you know that who told on Durk before, who told on Von before he.
At first, it's hard to understand why Durk would wish to kill one of his closest friends and an ally. However, it makes a lot of sense when you consider that they were involved in a court case together. They were accused of pursuing someone in Atlanta's downtown. However, the case abruptly vanished several months after Von's death. Fans believe Durk placed the blame on Von because he was already dead because it ended in a private settlement. Since King Von died, Durk actually received a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Why would Durk want Von?
Let me give you this. First of all, you didn't sign your rights over. You ain't in no 360 deal. First of all, you can't bring nobody into the business and they surpass you. How you bring me to the table and I pass you up? Don't nobody want their chief spot taken, do they?
That's an interesting
Dude was
thing.
a slack. He was signing the boys. He was Von wasn't no slack.
That's interesting. I did find out that Von didn't have any contractual ties to Durk like that, which was
Man, come on, man. He wasn't even signed to him. How's this his friend? He lied on Breakfast Club and said, "Hey, you think your man would be sitting here with $300,000 worth of jewelry on and he not have an attorney? He got a public defender."
At that point, Vonnie's father leaked that Durk had Von deal with in a tweet that went viral. I'm curious as to why Durk goes living every time he's associated with a death. Fans believe Durk utilized Instagram Live to fabricate an alibi because he went live the moment King Von, Lil Pab, and FBG Duck died. However, Vonnie's father wasn't finished yet, as he disclosed that Vonnie had planned the deaths of King Von and Lil Pab.
No, he ain't take my advice. He ain't respond no back to me because this is on a tablet. He on a jail tablet when I sent that to him. He ain't respond nothing else to him. I told you he can't take my advice because they plan. They made themselves get caught. This is what come along with it. They wanted to get caught. You understand me?
So, that's what you meant by trenches paint. Okay.
What you mean trenches what?
Was it you that said that with the whole narrative about Bonnie snitching with the text messages? Like that's
yeah. I don't know who said that, but that was me.
Cause that was the focus. Everybody was trying to make it seem like that's what the text messages was about.
That's just saying what he finna cop out to, and this, that, and other. And with me saying Bond, some people like, damn, what he gonna tell on some words online?
I ain't gonna lie, I said that in my video. I'm intrigued to know what the Bond name was for.
No, he ain't gonna tell him no Bond. You gonna tell it just like you orchestrated Lil P. You orchestrated this, and guess who you work for?
Bonnie isn't the only snitch, though. Rappers responded to Duty Low's younger brother's actions by stating, "Please tell me this isn't real," because the case has been altered by a fresh evidence file that revealed TD's desire to turn on Durk. For a long period, Durk's attorneys supplied documentation regarding their bond request. TD is Duty Low's younger brother. In case you didn't know, TD probably has a good understanding of what goes on behind the scenes because Duty Low is also regarded as Durk's primary hitter. However, TD's arrest for possessing a pistol in an unrelated case prompted him to begin
Really? Dude had a what about that? A man had a with an extended clip. That's cool though, right?
He was then brought to the police station, instead of attempting to maintain his composure. TD immediately started claiming that he would turn on those he knew in order to be freed.
Come on. Hey, stop it. Stop it.
Soon after TD was in the cell waiting for the officer, they started conversing. In order to be freed, he was prepared to place the blame on anyone.
You gotta relax for me, because I can't understand it. Relax. What's the number? 7 what you saying, man? We're gonna see what we can do for you, alright? We're gonna see what we can do for you. You gotta relax for me.
Relax, man. I'm gonna get a bus to prison. Relax.
Give me No, I'm saying, what are you talking about? I'm trying to get the.
Even if Durk's situation appears dire, his attorneys may still be able to secure his release. It was revealed that Durk had submitted a fresh motion to dismiss due to the second superseding indictment's ambiguity. He asks for a bill of particulars to clarify if it is not rejected. They want to know the type of bounty, the date, time, and situation, as well as the coded language utilized. Because Durk's attorneys are requesting that the prosecutors present the documentation in which Durk makes his bid for Quando Rondo's prize, they are curious about the precise reward Durk gave the members that committed the crime. Because Durk's attorneys think the prosecution can't substantiate that information, they want to know the precise time and date that he committed the crime. All of this would have been disclosed by now in a normal court proceeding. The prosecution isn't giving it up though. On the inside, though, a fresh turn of events worried Durk. It was alleged that after an officer found a cell phone in Durk's detention cell, he was placed in solitary confinement indefinitely.
They got Lil Durk in a hole for basically some BS. And right now we're going to show the paperwork. They saying that he was caught with a cell phone. And basically that's not true. They trying to keep him in a hole, do a lot of things that they shouldn't be doing or whatever, but they trying to make a point because they saying that me and him is privileged and we got so many things going on, and it's a lot of BS.
But it might be for Durk's protection. Lil Baby tweeted, "I don't care about nothing else other than Durk right now." Following reports that Chicago rapper Lil Durk got into a fight inside the jail this morning, free the bro. The streets were interconnected. What actually took place? It starts with a tweet on Durk's friend Glee's death in Chicago last night. It appears like OTF members are being singled out. In case you were unaware, Bezu was also eliminated this week, raising the question of who might seek retribution. Since Durk is being charged in connection with the death of their best friend Lil Pab, Quando Rondo and Lil Tim are among the most obvious solutions. On the day that Durk was attacked, interviews with Lil Tim and Quando were made public. As said by Lil Tim,
"No, like shit, I was just protecting my little brother."
When you did finally find out that it was King Von who did, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn, if Brian did that stupid shit last night, he still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, shit, I ain't no the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect to like his mama saying, f*** him. shit like that, cause I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type. Like, I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but it's like they ain't never popped that shit off. That would have never happened like that.
As a result, Quando Rondo expressed the same sentiment, stating that he wished things had been handled differently.
Whoever on my side, they got kids and a mama that 100% love them. And at the end of the day, bro, all this bull that we talking about is stupid. That could have been handled a totally different way. It could have been handled to the point where a song and $3-4 million could have came out. Or whatever, like they could have got handled in a legit way, in a music way.
On the same day, 2 Durk officers conducted interviews. It doesn't seem odd to commend Durk, yet wished that things had been done differently. Unfortunately, Durk's placement in solitary confinement prevented him from receiving his bond. On the other hand, other attorneys on the internet assert that the First Amendment will nullify most of the evidence they possess regarding Durk.
It's a First Amendment argument here, right? That this violates the First Amendment. Can you talk about that?
Right, for sure. I mean, I'm expressing myself. I can say the things that I want to say in a rap record or any kind of record. And you could go back and there's country records and there are pop records and there are R&B records that talk about all kinds of things. It's just that there's this notion that with hip hop, quote, glorifying violence, that suddenly now we're going to use these things to prosecute them. But does that mean that the free speech, the First Amendment has gone away? No, absolutely not. He can absolutely rap about what he wants to rap about. And that doesn't mean just because the story is.
However, the judge examined Durk's bond and rejected it. According to the report, the feds say Durk would need to go completely broke and give up all of his property to be granted bond, as they fear he might use his fortune to place bounties on witnesses.
No bond for Lil Durk. Let me tell you about what options he has left and why the bond was denied this time. Now, he's in federal court on a murder for hire charge where he faces the possibility of life in prison. What that means is, under the federal law, it is presumed that you do not get a bond because the charge and the penalty are so serious. So your lawyer has to go out there and show why you should get a bond. Now, ultimately, what the district judge decided to deny the bond on was a couple of factors. There's a couple $1 million being put up, but it's not all being put up by Durk. Some of it is from the label, and ultimately Durk has a lot more money and assets than what's being put up. So if I let him out on bond and he tries to flee, he's going to have tons of assets and money at his disposal.
If Durk is freed, the feds fear he will attempt to witness tampering and eliminate anyone who is reporting him. OTF Jam is a prime example of this, since he was exposed as a snitch and has been absent for a considerable amount of time. Has anyone heard from Jam since he turned on Durk? It was announced. He was exposed for being a snitch on DJ Vlad, which is why he has been absent for months, along with a few other members.